So, okay, guys, we start. Actually, as we see, we have a few topics need to cover for by today. So, introduction about the software to the software testing. So maybe we just by today we know what the software testing is, also why it's important, and why we cannot catch or detect all the bug in the software. Maybe if we just answer this three questions by the end of this class, it will be great. So guys, software testing now it's used in everywhere, in every corner of our life. We use it in our study. You see now we use the online, many not only one application. We use Moodle, we use Kahoot, we use also Miro. Many applications we use it. You can go any places, you have to use the software. So software make our life easier, right? But if there is any bug in the software, maybe can lead to consequence disasters. So this is maybe we can summary why we study the software is important, but its failure, it's also costly. So okay, this is the same as we see the software is used in everywhere. So the software failure actually maybe is at least can lose your data, at least, if not money, if not lives. So we have to test our software, any software, before release to the markets. So this is why we study the software testing. So here are some examples of the software failure. One example of the software failure is Mars climate orbiter. So actually, these spacecraft sent to the Mars, and they have to monitor these from the ground. So there is an application was in software, and an application was on the spacecraft, and another application in the ground. So here we have one application in the ground, and we have one application on the spacecraft. So the application on the ground should monitor and control the application on the spacecraft. But there is a small problem here, with the problem that each application using different unit, and because that's problem, actually this spacecraft it's crash, because actually the application on the ground should change the velocity of the spacecraft. So once they receive a wrong information, or we can say they receive the information, but when they use these informations, they use another, or they use different unit that's application in the spacecraft use it. Things also another problems, which is machine for like MRI, I think. So this one actually, maybe it's the problem also is related to the operators, also the software. The operators, the one who work on this machine, also because of the software. As they mentioned, okay, this machine actually is designed, for example, to work with people, and these people, they should switch from, for example, one operation to another operations. But by time the operation is maybe they used to use this machine, so they do it very fast. They switch from one operation, or for example, they press the buttons very fast. So this machine actually it's deliver the beam very fast. So before they end the first beam, they deliver the second beam, or second tap of the beam. So the problem here is deliver its massive beam, and then maybe at least 3 persons is die because of switching from one operation to another operations. So this is also, it's, as we see, it's because of the human, also because of the software. Maybe if the software is tested well, for this point, for example, when the person can use it very quickly, as they mentioned here, so maybe it can avoid this problem. So here also is the third example also, which is Ariane 5 rockets. This one, the same to the first question, which is the convert between the two types. So here, when they convert from 64-bit to 16-bit, so the same thing, there is some errors. So these errors actually cause a problem, and this problem also it's lead to this rocket to crash or fall down after few seconds, around 30 seconds. So guys, this is some example of software failure. So guys, after we see these examples, so can you please guys share with me your opinion why software testing is important? You can share opinion in the link below here at Miro. So let's go there. Okay, thank you guys for your opinions, for sharing your opinions and discussions. So let's now go to the slide to discuss more about this topic. Question. Let's go to the slide, please. Okay, guys. You see now the slide? Okay, guys, yes. there is many reasons why software testing is important. In general, it's important because if you not test the software well, the software, the failure will cost either money, whether data or life. So in general, because it's cost, the failure is cost. Okay, so all your answer is correct. So if you ensure the quality because you don't want the software go to the failure and then cost you your life or your data. So this is in general. We have here also some answers of this, why is important. So the first one, because software is likely to have fault. Is this correct or no? Guys, share with me just this discussion. Yes, it's correct. So the second one, they say to learn about the reliability of the software. Correct. You can talk.
Yes.
Yes, yes. So to fill the time between the delivery of the software and the release date. Yes or no? Correct.
It certainly sometimes feels that way.
Here they say that's okay, I'm free after I complete my coding. So this is just, I do software because I'm free to fill that time. Correct?
No, it's not.
No. Yes, it's no. I don't think it's good reason. So the fourth, to prove that the software has no fault.
Yes,
No.
that's correct.
No.
Every software has fault.
Yes, this is actually, if we say it's difficult to approve, that's difficult.
But maybe as little as possible.
Yes, it's possible, but it's impossible to approve that your software is free of bug. But at least we say, okay, it's based on the software itself, based on the software itself. So because this thing, this number 5, because this thing is included in the project plan. Even me, I don't know, is it correct, guys, this one?
No.
I think no. Yes, no. Not, I mean, maybe because we have to do it, yes, we have to do it, but not because it's in the project plan. Because failure, this number 6, because failure can be very expensive. I think, so I think this is the main point. That is the main point, number 6. Failure is very expensive, yeah. To avoid being sued by the customers, yes. Yes.
Yes.
To stay in the business. In somehow this is, it's correct, yes, yes, yes. So guys, maybe as we say, is the most important one, is which is maybe it's what we can say, it's cover the others, and by another way, if we can say, is, for example, why you want to reliability, because software, if not reliable, maybe you will it will also will cost you. For example, it will not get good profits, then you will cost you in another way, cost you even money, or cost you your company. So guys, this is another thing which is also important, this slide, from where the software or the failure is coming, the errors is coming. Okay, later we see what the difference between the errors, fault, failure. So the different, here we say the errors, from where the errors is coming. We can see also from where the failure is coming. As we see later, we'll see what the difference between them. So guys, maybe you know the SRS. Okay, if you don't know, SRS is the time for gathering the requirements. So what the requirements? The requirements here, you for example, you have been assigned to a developable software. So you have to gather all the information about the software. So that's one, we call it its requirements. So the failure sometimes come from that time when you're gathering the requirements. So maybe this picture can show you that's okay. Maybe the customer, which is in the requirement or in SRS, okay, the customer wants something like this, but you understand difference. And then when the designer, which is, for example, in the another stage, which is design the software, understand different things. So when the programmer start programming, is understand different things. So it's maybe it's a sequence step. So all should be in the all step, actually the software testing should be included in somehow, not exactly testing, not exactly software testing. Maybe it can be testing, general words, because we have also validation, verification, we have different terms, not only software testing. Okay, so the first one, maybe that when we gather the info, the requirements. Okay, the second one, maybe when we design what? Design the system. Now we just, okay, you got all the information about the system. So you list the requirement, you start designing your system. So also the design, in the design stage, maybe there is some misunderstanding, maybe there is some errors, so it will cause some failure. Okay, the main also which is the developments and the codecs. Also, it can come from there in terms of, for example, it's errors, for example, logical errors, or for example, it's any type of errors. So the errors actually here, guys, that's why we say here, maybe this is not the correct term to use here, because the errors is it's something is happening because the human. So maybe you write your code, but in the code later we see you in a slide and it thinks, okay, for example, you have to, for example, your any integer or any variables should be starting from 0, but you start from 1. So this is error. This is, we call it errors. So this is because the human. So sometimes it's correct. For example, the code will work, but the result will not be correct. So this is something happened by the human. So also the second things also, or the last one, is the implementation of the software and the system. So this is also, it's include many things. After coding or after developing the system, now you come to maybe, okay, run your code, run it, or we can say it's the deployment. So that's one. It's having many errors can be also come, maybe sometimes because the environments, because the user input, because also it's because some inputs errors, I already said, yes. So because of another things. So here the error, it's in the system itself. So sometimes the environments. So maybe you design your system on in some, for example, in platform, and they will use it in another platform. You design your system in or you test your system in browser, for example, Chrome. But when we use another one, for example, it's the Edge or another browser, it's cause some errors. So this is maybe in general from where is the software or the errors it's come. So in general, we can say it's come from all the stage, from the beginning to the end. So software or testing, let's say testing, because as we say, if we say software only, it's so testing should be included in all the stage in different terms, as we say, because when we talk about validation, even some people, they call it is also testing. So, but it's not, for example, it's focused on the requirements, validations. So when you are in the, for example, in developments, so this is verifications. So the testing should be included in all stage.